So we're just coming down to the boat ramp here, we're just about to go out lure fishing for zander. That's what we're doing today. It's just zander.
Yep.
So we're going to use several different techniques. We're going to be showing you some of the gear which Lucky John produce. So some of the rods and reels, lines, lures, and hopefully we can get onto some zander. Yeah,
that's the plan.
Yeah. Just to caveat all of this, this is completely new to me. I'm not a reservoir fisherman, so this will be my first actual attempt at trying to catch zander. So let's see. But I've got the man here. He knows what he's doing. So
allegedly.
Yeah. So let's go and get some.
So vertical fishing for zander, so you're dropping your jig head straight down below your rod tip, and the trick with the zander is to not do too much. Less is definitely more. So it's purely just a lifting the jig head up, anything between 6 inches, 12 inches, hold and lower, and that's all you've got to do. The mistake a lot of people make when they first start doing it is they actually put too much action into the lure. They're almost sort of sea fishing, wreck fishing, they're this with the lure and all that. And yeah, you will get some fish like that, but you'll get a lot more just slow and steady, holding it. A lot of the time, the zander, particularly when they're not actively hunting, they're lying hard on the bottom. Sometimes you'll be catching fish that you don't even see on the sonar. So they are tight to the bottom. So you're more annoying them than anything else. You're invading their space. It's more of just a predatory instinct thing. It's an aggressive, territorial thing, if you like. But they just don't like the lure being right in their face. So they'll snap at it. And they're not actively feeding necessarily. So if you're way up above the head, up and down, they're likely to just ignoring it. You know, it's not in their face, so it's just a small lift, pause, drop. Again, the majority of the bites you'll find are on the way down. You can put variations on the theme, of course, you know, bit of a lift, couple of twitches and drop, but you generally will have more success on a sort of like slower, more controlled finesse lift and hold than you will banging it up and down. Business end, got a 4-inch Macora split tail in the crystal white. The jig head is a Lucky John 30 gram 3.0 jig head. We're barely drifting. We haven't got a huge drift speed, so I could get away with a lighter jig head, but the fish are down on the bottom, so I just want to get the bait down as quickly as possible. As you already touched on, Guy, nice fine braid to cut through the water. Fluoro leader of about 2 meters or so. My rod is Lucky John Van Rex twitching 28 gram in the 6-foot version. Beautiful action rod for this style of fishing. It's very, very fast action, which is what you need. You don't want a rod that's overly sloppy in the tip, for several reasons. First of all, when you're controlling the jig, you want to be able to just lift, hold, lower. You do that far better on a stiffer rod than you can something that's too tippy and you know bending into the rod before you lift the jig head and so on. Also, and more importantly, it's for actually connecting with the fish. A lot of these fish, as I say, they're not necessarily actively feeding, so they'll just give a quick snap at the lure. They're not really hammering it, so often it's just one bang. You're fishing 50, 60 foot deep maybe, so you've got a lot of pressure on those fish. There's a lot of water pressure there. At 20 metres of water, so 66 feet, you've actually got 2 bar of pressure. So you've got to strike and connect with that fish all the way through that water column. Zander have bony mouths as it is. If your rod's too sloppy, you're not going to connect with the fish properly. So a nice fast action, stiffish rod that you'll feel the bite. It's not necessarily about looking at the tip, it's about feeling that hit and hitting it. So you need a very fast action rod. The reel is Lucky John Anera Jig 8 reel in a 3,500 size. Gone for this size because it's got that nice wide spool. Obviously you're dropping down a long way, so you want the line to come off quickly. You don't want a small tight spool. You want a nice wide spool that helps get the line down quickly. This has got a very, very good drag on it, and also again, like I said, you're fishing quite deep water, so when you do bring it back up, you don't want a small tidy 1,000 size reel that you're winding and winding and winding for ages. So decent retrieve rate, 3,500 size is perfect for this style of fishing. Slick shad bait, 5 inch.
What a beauty. Put it back.